apparently you can condense an AK-47 and then condense it again and then condense it again. I'm excited. The first reaction of the year has to go to the legendary Brandon Herrera. You guys already know.
A lot of you in the comments have pointed out that this beard makes me look a little bit like young Fidel Castro.
What a start.
Excited to fully commit to the bit. And when I returned home from visiting my son Justin Trudeau, I decided to take over a small Caribbean island. I figured what better to defend my new island than a shipment of new AKs. The price I got them for? Basically a steal.
A
Yeah, they actually
steal?
just came in.
What?
It's weird.
What is that?
Yeah.
Always make sure to check the packages, right? Good things come in small packages. Well, I like my red 40 nice and spicy.
This is just the invoice.
It's so small. It's so tiny.
Temu. What's going on, guys? No, this is not in fact what happens when you try to order Chinese AKs off of wish.com. Believe it or not, this is actually a firing miniature AK.
Okay, you gotta admit, that's pretty cool, right?
Someone who tries to collect every single type of AK, why not small?
Sooner or later, he's gonna get the first.
In reality, I just thought it made the most sense. I mean, I'm the guy who's got the biggest firing AK in the world.
Yeah.
Why not balance the scale out with the smallest? I've actually been playing around with these for a little while, and they have a shocking amount of power to them for their small size. I'm looking at you, Short Kings. That one's for you. Yes, these are 2mm pinfire guns. And before we delve too deep, let's shoot the damn thing.
Yes! Let's see. That is really cool. Ooh, put that mag in.
Firing, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's so cool.
I've never held it from the front before. There's a lot of powder that comes out the front.
How?
These little suckers are actually really neat. Like I said, they're 2mm pinfire and made by a company, fittingly enough, called Pinfire Guns.
That makes
If you're not
sense.
familiar with the concept of pinfire, let me just go into a tangent immediately. So this is our 2mm pinfire cartridge.
Whoa!
What's crazy about these is that it's actually
It's so
really
cute.
old technology. In the very early days of transitioning from muzzle loaders, you know, black powder, you load in the powder and then your musket ball and then put a cap on it. While we're
Think Revolutionary War times, right? Black powder was the standard and you had to take more time to load. Smoke less powder became much more beneficial. It allowed for shooters to remain a little bit more concealed, better accuracy, and better efficiency in range, and it ultimately led to the beautiful semi and fully automatic weapons that we get today. Black powder will forever be in our hearts.
transitioning over to complete self-contained rifle cartridges, pinfire was actually a very big part of that evolution. The way that it works is that your hammer will come down and it will specifically strike that little pin, that little rod sticking out of the cartridge.
That's just
that
so
pushes
cool.
it into the cartridge, it ignites the powder beneath it, and then it pushes the bullet out the front like a normal rifle or pistol cartridge works. For something this
Yeah.
small, pinfire definitely makes a lot of sense. Leave it to me to turn what looks like a fucking dime store knickknack into a history lesson. Anyhow, the big question is,
History is fun, okay? We have to learn from it.
how much power do these little fuckers have? The answer may surprise you. No, but for real, actually, for the first time possibly, we are actually going to be using the White Claw penetration test for real data. Really just demonstrating how much power it does have. Because you've seen on the channel a million times over, bullets really don't have a big problem punching through a White Claw can.
No.
But I mean that? Come on. I'm dead serious. The little cap guns we used to use to shoot blanks at each other as kids, you know, like 5, 6, the little corner store little toys, probably had twice as much powder as this. Can it really kill? Let's find out.
My guess is it will eventually go through, but it might have to take multiple rounds in one specific spot, but we'll see.
First off, no cheating. I'll know. Let me know what your predictions are down in the comments. Is it going to bounce right off? Is it going to puncture? Is it just going to zip through it?
I think eventually puncture.
So we're going to be pretty close for
Eventually.
this because I have no faith in this ability to keep energy over long distances, and it's not rifled like at all. But yeah, let's give it a shot. Giving Corridor Digital a run for their money on Tiny Guns 4 in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah!
Holy shit.
Yeah!
Check that out.
Look at that! Look at
Right
that!
in
Look
and
at
right
that!
out.
Not even eventually, it went right through. That's awesome.
Like I said, this thing carries a decent bit of ass, more than I would expect. Like that girl in the gym that's always wearing that thick hoodie. It's like, this is just a sleeper.
Sleeper build.
All right, so a punch through both sides just for shits and giggles. Now we've got 2 White Claws. I have 0 confidence it's gonna go all the way through both, but I'm hoping that maybe we can catch the round. Firing.
We'll see.
3, 2, 1. God, I keep forgetting it sprays immediately back on me.
It's the power of the claws.
So pull them apart. That's interesting. Fuck did the bullet go?
Oh, it went in.
So it went all the way through both sides here, and then we see nothing. Not even a dent. Oh no, a little bit of a dent. Spoke too soon. You can see that a little bit. Hopefully that picks up on the camera. A little bit of a dent there on the back.
Would hurt, wouldn't
I wonder if that was enough to push it back into the can. Why am I squirting this out of the sides? There you go.
There you go. Science. Science.
I dropped out of college before we learned how to shotgun, right?
Have you ever tried the pencil in the Ziploc bag trick? It becomes a little faucet, right? It's pretty cool.
I was hoping we might have caught it, but no luck. Magic bullet. It is crazy to me, though, that something so small will punch through both sides of the unopened can and still make a dent on the other side. Like, honestly, this is kind of what I expected. This little dent is what I expected when we first fired it, when I first started playing around with these things. Color me impressed that there's, like, any real functionality, because that's more than I would have expected.
Yes.
Anyway.
It's really neat. It does have functionality.
Now, if you're wondering why I'm only shooting this one and not this one, even though, in my opinion, I think this one cosmetically looks a little nicer. It's because like a year or two ago, Kevin Brittingham, of all people, was over at my house, and we were playing around with these and joking around, and somehow he broke it, and neither one of us could figure out how to fix it. You know, you think him being a weapons designer and everything like that, he could have been able to figure that one out. Sorry, Kevin, love you. So real quick rundown on how to load it. There's this little swivel here that you push to the rear, and that allows our magazine to drop free. Excuse me while I just stick my fucking gun in my pocket. So now we take our 2mm pinfire round and we orient it like so to then go into the hole in the back of the magazine. But sliding in there with that pin up like that allows it to stay in place so that when the hammer comes down and strikes it, it strikes right on top of the pin. Now this is basically just like, think of it as a revolver cylinder, I guess, because there's a little bit of barrel out front before it gets to the barrel in the rest of the gun.
I actually really think it's adorable, right? Like, it's a little mini AK. What's not to love about it, right? The fact that it has its own firing powder too.
Now that cylinder gap there is why I kept burning my fucking finger when I wasn't paying attention. Fun fact, the same thing will happen on regular revolvers, so that's why you keep your fucking fingers away from the cylinder.
This is a very, very amazing example. Keep your fingers near the actual cylinder in the revolver. It's very fast. It's very hot. It'll hurt you.
Anyhow, to reinsert, we're gonna go ahead and pull our hammer up so that it clears. Put our magazine in the bottom there, nice and secure, and we're gonna swivel that back forward, more or less locking it in place. And now,
I also love the aspect of the AK, like the magazine being curved is so nice.
we are ready to fire.
Yeah.
Now the real question is, why would you need to keep it shaped like an AK? Since it's essentially just a hammer and a barrel, you could probably put it in all sorts of shapes and sizes. So for example, if you wanted to be more discreet with it, you could maybe not shape it like a gun and instead shape it like a watch. This is the most 60s spy movie shit I've ever seen. Yeah, this watch is also a 2mm pinfire gun. I'll show you how this one works.
Wait, how do you do that?
First off, I'm gonna take off my watch and replace it. The joke is that Breitling is for sketchy people. Not nearly as sketchy as the people who wear pinfire guns.
That's wild.
And now,
what?
We are wearing a gun.
I guess you better watch yourself. I'll be here all night, folks.
crazy is that I would never in a million years ever think that that's a gun of any kind.
No.
Especially if you're wearing long sleeves like I am today, like it just completely disappears. And then just pull it out. But the way this one works is we've got our knob here on the side that just unscrews. And then that is where our pinfire cartridge is held. So it takes this exact same kind of pinfire cartridge. Once again, we just orient the pin.
That's
to be
wild.
Sticking out toward that hammer, slide it down. And then we put this back on, which then retains it and then acts basically as just the backer, the backstop there.
James Bond!
Reach, whatever. And now we have a loaded gun on my wrist. Neat. All we have to do to set it off
so nervous.
is push in that button. And it takes a decent bit of force, so it'd be hard to do it on accident. That being said, don't think I'd feel comfortable just walking around with this loaded all day.
No.
Excuse me, sir, would you happen to have the time?
Oh! That's gonna hurt so bad. Ow! I don't know, but I guess that's a good thing to look out for.
At least that one wasn't directly in my face.
Nope.
Yep, straight on through.
That's a wild to watch.
I know, well, this guy is recently shot in the neck now and is gurgling on his own chunky neck blood. I'm still convinced paramedics can save him, and this is not a successful hit yet. So that's when I pull out my second watch. I'm also not 100% sure why my cover was me walking up, very evidently holding a watch, asking him if he had the time. But he didn't have long to think about it, so it's all right. And then to the cartridge, all we have to do is unscrew this. And then we've got our little ramrod. It's like the skull's that's a little metal.
Yeah.
A little overt, guys. Push that through the barrel. And then that pushes out our fired casing, and we're ready to reload it and then fire again. I don't know, guys, the older I get and the longer I've been doing this, the more the stuff that interests me is, what would you say, just weird, unusual. The stuff that really strikes my fancy nowadays is just weird shit that a lot of people just haven't heard of. I know I didn't know about these before a couple years ago, and I've just been playing around with them. I've been meaning to do this video for a while. We finally got around to it, and I hope you guys enjoy it because I think it's super neat. So what do you think of 2mm pinfire guns?
It's beautiful.
Trinket, gimmick, or something that actually might have some legitimate purposes? Let me know down in the comments. But if you have any other ideas for weird stuff you'd like to see on the channel, let me know. We got a bunch of ideas for the new year, and I'm just excited to get back to work on it.
Let's go.
Oh, and since I haven't seen you since then, I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. Be safe on New Year's. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Don't do most of what I would do. And enjoy yourselves. I'll see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in 2025.
I thought this AK was really, really neat. It's cool to see unconventional firearms. Interesting to also see the watch. I mean, that was so crazy. People are so creative. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to check out Brandon Herrera. He always puts so much thought into his videos, so I really, really appreciate watching his content, and make sure to check him out. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to be back. It's 2025, and I really do wonder what all is going to occur this year, but please be safe, practice proper firearm safety, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Thank you, thank you, thank you.